I'm going live, and whoever joins me shall do. All right, greetings, good afternoon, everybody. Hakia Me here. Hope you all are wonderful. Hope you all are staying warm this beautiful day. Hakia Me, the scholar. It's a beautiful day. So we had a amazing past few weeks. So I am here. I am here in the U.S. making things happen. So it's great to be present. So a lot of beautiful operations, had an amazing experience that I'm going to share with you all in a second, of course. But we wanted to talk this evening about Wakanda, and I will be discussing more about that. I have some guests, and hopefully they'll join me. If not, I'll definitely have some other things to go on. But I was able to watch Wakanda, the Wakanda film in Nairobi, Kenya. But here is the conference flyer, and we are looking forward to the next time. And shout out to everybody joining me on my Instagram. I don't get a chance to stream on my IG as much, but Success Scholar on Instagram and Raising Consciousness Capital on my YouTube, of course, as well as Raising Consciousness and Capital on Facebook. So you definitely can join us all or both on both pages, but and stay connected via those routes. And we definitely encourage you to share, like, and subscribe. We are building up our YouTube and Facebook following, definitely YouTube as well as our Instagram. I don't get a lot. I don't do a whole lot with Instagram. It's just like, okay, that's a lot. It's too much. I definitely go and do a lot of. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Let me, Hakish me on LinkedIn, of course, and I'm gonna step my LinkedIn game up over the next few weeks, next 2 months. I neglect that, and I'm feeling like, okay, I've been talking to Facebook people long enough, and I am on Twitter, Success Guy One on Twitter, but I don't do much on Twitter either. But I reach who I need to reach when I need to reach them, and I'm really grateful. But it was just an amazing experience with the conference and that we had. So 4 days in Nairobi, Kenya, and I still have programs for those that would like to request a copy of the program. Please consider making a donation to the Teaching Artists Institute, and I'll put the Facebook app up, and we're going to be doing that over the next weeks, next few months. Let me put Haki Shakur, Sh- Haki Shakur, Ami on, what is that? Cash App. Cash at me. Cash at. All right. Yes, yes, yes. So, man, there was just a lot of things going on over the next, even when I returned, I came back and we had the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus Foundation. So I'm going to have to do a separate one of those. But this was supposed to be about Wakanda and the experience that others had. As I was looking up a few different things that were going on. The whole, the cost, what it costs to make it, $250 million, and so far the gross 561 million. It's the eighth largest grossing film this year. I don't have the other films that they actually had over the past year that grossed higher, but I'll look that up in a couple of minutes. Maybe I'll post a link or something after the. But it was just kind of cool seeing the film in Kenya. So what did I see in Kenya? Thank you, John. What did I see in Kenya? We were at a movie theaters in Eldoret, Kenya, which is about 6 hours from Nairobi. So it was a little distance. They do have an airport there. So we were able to see it there. And what I noticed is that they don't like get dressed up like how we do. And the United States. People weren't necessarily interested in. I ain't gonna say they weren't interested, but they just didn't feel that level of cultural connection to where black people here felt like this is like an event. This is like a major type of thing that we experience. And so, but let me see who I got here. I got Sister Tiffany. She's on. So let me go ahead and get her up. But I started. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get Sister Tiffany Gamble up here. Let me go ahead and get her up. Hey, sister. We are live.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great, great, great. Yes, I got you. I got you. Been live. Everything is beautiful. So, how was your day? You staying warm?
I am actually. It's nice here in Omaha. It's about 60 degrees. So yeah, it's not cold yet. We're going back and forth. So I'm
Wow.
grateful for that.
No, thank you for coming in, and for those that may not know, the Tiffany Gamble, I'll give her a chance to introduce herself, but I got her up as a techpreneur, amongst other things, consultant in the technology space. So we met at the East African Chamber of Commerce conference, in Dallas a few months ago. Great experience, met a lot of powerful people, and like and was able to, just expand the network, expand my wisdom in the whole East African region. And so, as we, with the Teaching Arts Institute, continue to grow, but let other people a little bit about yourself, and we'll talk a little bit about Wakanda because wanted to say little things about that, but we're gonna build a Wakanda. Let's talk about that too. So
Sure,
right,
sure.
yeah.
Well, yes, I'm a techpreneur, as he said. I founded a nonprofit, and I'm the executive director. It is Emerging Ladies Academy. We
Mm,
empower Black girls in technology, 10 to 18. We
mm,
offer after school programming and a tech academy on Saturdays. We teach from three tech tracks: computer science, engineering, and biomedical science. The girls
mm,
explore anywhere from web page development, website development, cybersecurity,
mm,
engineering with robotics, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, drones. In
mm,
biomedical science, we look at food as medicine. So we look at ways and how technology is infused in that agriculture industry. So I really just wanted to expose the girls to different tech pathways, and really help them understand that and create an awareness around tech careers. And it's not just sitting behind a computer. So
mm,
there's a avenue for any young lady, no matter what industry they would want to pursue, anywhere from being a hairdresser or a beautician, an esthetician, to nail tech. Everything that you can think of has a component of technology, and finding those connectors and really showing them that that's a career pathway as well. So I'm super excited to be able to offer these opportunities and resources to the community. And
mm,
then also we have Gamble Tech Firm. So we wanted to create like a social enterprise, right? So with Gamble Tech Firm, we um, empower, educate, and inspire future technologists through community workshops and trainings. So we want to make sure that our people have a seat at the table. I specifically target women in the states, particularly Black women. Um, to go into the tech market. So we provide those entry level certifications anywhere from ITF, Information Technology Fundamentals, to Azure, to project management, program management, Scrum Master. those type of entry level certifications to get them in the door, to get them into the tech pipeline. So I want to make sure that we close that digital gap and divide within the tech pipeline.
Wow. Wow. No, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Appreciate you sharing, and
Hmm.
definitely, I'll be hollering at you about some getting some websites stuff. Getting some of them students to upgrade a few of my websites that I got brewing.
Okay.
So that's a definite. But let me ask you, just tying this in, interesting that you mentioned some of the tech spaces. Are you finding, for instance, and looking up, this discussion in terms of connecting technology to Wakanda, for instance, and are you finding for one of the things is like film, and you mentioned drones, and I didn't know, but some of the young Tanzanians, the film people, they
Uh-huh.
they they are like asking me to like get them a drone
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they can do different shots. And what's interesting as well is in this year, it was actually this year when we went we did a civil rights tour where we went to 10 different city states. We took like 31 young people, civil rights freedom rides, and we went through 10 different city states throughout the South. And many, one of the guys in Atlanta, he actually had a drone to like video us, and I got the
Hmm.
little clips, but we still waiting to get the footage for that. But and then he shot a aerial shot of the Pittis Bridge that as we were walking over. So we have some. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. It's good footage. I can't wait to do some more editing work with it. But I'm excited about that. So have you found like people in the filming space? If I mean, I don't know if that's yeah, obviously that's technology, on some levels. Yeah, have any young people expressed interest in those spaces?
Well, we did partner with a filmmaker. He's from here, but he does work in Atlanta. He provided a workshop, a film workshop for the
No.
community, and the girls went and they loved it. Just to, I feel like our youth don't understand all the ways in all the ways that technology intersects industries. So when we went to the workshop, they were like, "Oh wow!" Because he had a drone there, of course, and he talked about how
Mm,
movies are created, how drones are used to get shots and film. So there was a high interest after that workshop. And I had been speaking to the girls about the career pathways in drone technology, but it wasn't until they went to this filmmakers workshop that it clicked for them. They were able to understand how it intersects. So yes is the short answer. All my girls now have a recreational drone pilot license. um,
mm,
so so that's the FAA came out with it last June, so we were
mhm,
able to provide the girls that. So that just creating those concepts and that awareness and that curiosity around that type of technology is great, and to also show them where drones are used in other industries as well. We went to an agriculture I mean architect firm
mm,
yesterday, and
mm,
they, of course, use drone footage as well to take pictures of the existing buildings, or take pictures of the existing building there, but then turn that building into a 3D image of what the final project could be. So they were
mm.
able to understand even in that industry drones are being used. So the short answer is yes, there's a lot of interest now that I have exposed them to those different industries.
Wow.
So
Wow.
at
That's
16,
beautiful.
they're able to take their drone pilot license. So I have one six one 16-year old right now that I am slowly coaching into that space to at least get that, even if you may not be interested, that still is a stream of income for you because you have the knowledge and you have the
Mm,
certification. So
mm,
so I tell the girls, open up your possibilities. Um,
wow.
this does not take years to gain.
Mm,
Um, you can have a certification within a month.
mm,
And the process is fairly easy, and it's very um, um, very low. There's a very low cost for the certification,
affordable
like two
for the
hundred
business.
dollars.
Wow.
So that's an avenue that they can surely go into. And we do
Yeah.
need drone pilots, certified drone pilots in every industry. So
Mm.
now that they've been exposed, they're thinking about it.
Ah, thank you for sharing that because yeah, I definitely I haven't. I mean, I attended some different workshops, but I haven't like really like tried to access. I priced a few, but I'm like, all right, how much do I need to learn like about this? Like, how long
Right.
does it take? What's the learning curve there? So
Yeah.
thank you for opening up that path to communication. So yeah, let me So in terms of, I mean, and I don't want to. I mentioned David Benson. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to join us here, but interesting in terms of we met, talking about the East African region and tying it all in terms of the Wakanda film, as I was mentioning before you came on, that I actually saw the film in Tanzania. I'm sorry, no, Kenya, just
Hmm.
2 weeks ago, last week or something. but
Right.
uh, but one of the reasons that I went to Kenya, and this is the only connect to this conversation, was I was inspired by two different individuals to, well, because first we were going to have our Autism conference in Zimbabwe this year, or Ethiopia, since I went to Ethiopia early, like earlier in May of this year, I was pushing. I was like, Ethiopia, Ethiopia. And, my partner was talking about Kenya, no, Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. So two things happened. There's a brother, Carl Nelson, who he has a radio show on, it's DC, Baltimore, as well as international. He started in New York and LA, but he used to have the former ambassador on, Ambassador Arakana. You familiar with her? Dr. Arakana Kwa.
No.
So
No.
she's the former African Union ambassador to the no, the U.S. ambassador to the African Union, or the African Union
Oh.
ambassador to the United States. So let me
Okay.
get it right. And I recall, and her organization now, because she's not in that capacity. I think she's been out maybe 2 years now of that position, but she has what's called ADDI, African Developmental Director Institute, something ADDI. It's real simple. It's addi.org. But I recall that she was attempting to. She had some master plans for Ghana and Kenya for Wakanda cities, Wakanda towns, and actually she was supposed to had like a conference in Zimbabwe this year, but that got moved back because my plans, I was attempt to go to Zimbabwe this year. So, but So yes, so she was doing these Wakanda towns, or cities, if you will, attempting to give investors, diaspora investors, to make that happen. But the other thing, when I thought about Kenya, was when the president came to the United States. He was he wasn't the president then, he was the vice president uh, of Kenya, President Ruto, William Ruto. He was the vice president, and he spoke at a university here, and actually in Baltimore. He was in D.C., and someone spotted him and brought him up to Baltimore. So, and that, I was able to cover him for the National Black. You got a copy, maybe the National Black Unity newspaper
Mm-hmm.
that I had there. So I do a column there uh, every when his paper circulated. But so, and I heard about his story, and I was just like, we have to go to Kenya. Too many people talk. This is too big of a coincidence,
Mm-hmm.
for Dr. Ambassador Kwa. She's a medical doctor, by the way, but um, for her to be talking about Kenya, and for me to actually meet the president, so I'm just like, let's do this, and you know,
Time to go.
yeah, let's be strategic. So, but let's talk about in terms of what in terms of your interests, for instance, in Africa. Uh, what do you feel that the technology needs that you can create to build this Wakanda vision?
Well, from the very start, I understood where this technology came from, where STEM came from.
Mm,
The roots of everything came from Africa, and as Akon started turning the lights on, I knew
yeah.
that technology would quickly um, come right behind it. So it was vital for me to go, deliver these products and services to my people. Because oops, sorry, I'm so sorry. Because I knew that they would be all open for it. You know,
Mm. So
that
talk
they
about
understand.
talk about what Akon, for those that may not know, he had, I don't know if he what did he call his town? I'm not, and what can you just elect or touch
Well,
upon that?
I just know that he started bringing electricity and the infrastructure of electricity, and he started in Segal. Um,
Okay, right.
so and then now he's branched out to other countries and communities as well. But I knew early on when he started that project that technology was coming. The lights were on, right? Now
Mm,
that the lights are on and people have this that small device of a computer in their hand, aka a phone, a smartphone, that
mm-hmm,
things will move very quickly. But it's
right.
like coming out of the dark ages. Okay, where are we at in 2020? Where are we at in 2018? I think he started this initiative, I think probably back in 2016, 2017, somewhere around that. So I knew that the light bulb came on, and now we need to provide some technology services to our people, and that they would get it very quickly because it's in our DNA. You know,
Mm,
um, and that technology would be the great equalizer as globally, for us. So it was very vital for me to make sure I entered into our communities, our backyards, not just on the African continent, but diaspora.
mm,
So I'm just very uh, I'm very honored to be able to provide these services to our community.
mm. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's very interesting, and we have a saying, culture is the new currency, and
Yes.
understanding that we're in a unique position because what I saw black black people here in America still have cultural influence throughout the world, and if we merge, for instance, the culture with technology, we would definitely be unstoppable. And so it is essential for us to evaluate these. And that's one of the things that I appreciate, about going to that East African chamber, just hearing some of the different, areas of,
Hmm.
industries that potentially we could take advantage of. Although this conference was not necessarily directed towards the diaspora, like it wasn't
Right.
like they were trying to get like black, people, like how, for instance, Dr. Kwa, Dr. Arakana Kwa, she is specific. She wants, black people in the diaspora, definitely black people in America, to
Hmm.
invest in various parts of Africa, and certainly, like she said, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. I know that she may
Hmm.
have more, but those, definitely are ones that she talks about the most that I've
Right.
seen. So you've been to some of the, you know, in Africa. What countries?
The only country that I have visited so far is Ghana. I've
Okay,
been there tw- twice already,
okay.
and we went the first time to deliver a 5-day tech workshop for women. It
Mm,
went really, really well, and we left with creating our NGO. So we have
oh,
Emerging
congrats.
Ladies Academy. We have a chapter there, and then we went back in July of this year. So that was January 2021. Then we went back in July of this year, and we registered Gamble Tech Firm as well there. So we can provide services for those adults as well and those women as well. So I'm
Mm,
looking to branch out. This now that we have the templates, we have the blueprints, we can
mhm,
go and build and grow across the diaspora. Specifically Ghana or specifically Africa, but I'm open. Wherever there's melanated people, we need to have our hands in technology. We need to be in that tech pipeline.
right, right. No, I appreciate that, and that's one of the things that I saw, for instance, with Kenya, because honestly, and I'm just honest. I'm not going to be able to go to everywhere in Africa,
Right.
uh, in my lifetime. So I have to be very uh, strategic there,
Yes.
and just, I mean, and granted, I do recognize, and this, I just got finished explaining to somebody because somebody said something about, I mean, of course, you're going to get people that say, hey, come here. Can you come here? Can you come there? And I'm like, well, there needs to be some very time sensitive entrepreneur money, business type things that's going on, and where, for instance, black people in America can create or have some kind of connections. And I think I said something about, I mentioned Ghana because I know that a lot of black people have gone there. Nigeria, for instance, for many different reasons, is strategic for many black entrepreneurs to be present or to create some presence there. Well, many go to Senegal, although they speak different. They, they don't speak as much English. What else I said? Well, the Gambia, of course, which
Oh,
is,
yep, yep.
yes, it's, as well as many people connect to the Gambia, even like here in Maryland. Uh, the I think Benjamin Banneker, as well as what's the name? The Alex Haley thing.
Ah,
Right, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yes, I believe that that's the Gambia as well. But yes, because we every year they do like a Kunta Kinte festival here in Maryland, so I do know about that. And of course, people, a lot of black, in the cultural community go to Egypt as well. But I just, figured, okay, like when I heard Ambassador talking about East and West, I was just like, okay, Kenya is somewhere that she's looking at, so she has a little bit more experience than myself. So like, let's do what can be what needs to happen. Let's see what
mhm,
we can make happen. So
mhm.
that's what I felt, and that's what I'm saying. Even for yourself in terms of just knowing. I mean, where you can get the biggest bang for your buck for
Yeah,
your time, and your experience. Because sometimes it's about train the trainers, train the future,
right,
the next generation that
right,
that can grasp your message and take it to other places. So that's what it's about: spotting leaders that
right.
can carry the torch, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just excited about what potentially can happen in the future and for what you're doing, because ultimately I know many people like to talk about all of the Wakanda, what we what we see on film, and go all deep into that. But I'm like, look, eventually let's get out and from the Matrix world of
Right.
these Hollywood films, and see where are we going to build something. And honestly, and people talk about like how we used to have what the black towns, the
Oh,
Tulsa,
Black Wall
Oklahoma.
Street.
Yes, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I don't know, like, I mean, where can this possibly happen in the United States?
Yeah, yeah. We keep trying. We keep trying. You
Yeah,
know that there were about 15 families in Georgia that just bought, I forgot how many acres of land, and
yeah,
trying to rebuild that. That we can't stop, even though there's so many barriers against us in the states. I mean,
right.
some people. I feel like it can be built in Africa. I feel like there's a shift happening on the continent when it comes to empowering ourselves,
Hmm.
and not relying on other countries to do that for us. I feel like there's a shaking and awakening, but they don't have as many barriers as we do in the United States,
Mm.
to build that. I do feel like it's coming, and I'll see it in my lifetime. We're tired. It's just that simple. We're tired
Right.
um, of the oppression, you know.
Mm.
So we have to keep continuing to keep trying and learning lessons from the past, and praying and hoping and building, to you know building something that is sustainable. So I still have hope.
Right.
We just have to change our mindset. A lot of times it's our mindset as far as working together as black folks.
Agreed.
um
Agreed. No, that's. I mean, I'm happy that you said that because again, I always try to think. I mean, like long term and safety, and there's some people. Well, you got to protect what you build, et cetera, et cetera, uh, and I think I know for sure that there are some economic forces that their intent is to keep us disenfranchised, to keep us at the most at the consumer level,
yes,
not owning
yes,
anything, not producing anything, not employing our own. et cetera, et cetera. And and I think about how envious, for instance, like you said, historically and even contemporarily, how if you were to build something here that is not like guarded, like a physical asset, like a community, like in a traditional sense, like when you think about like people living in a certain area, uh, and if it grow to reach a certain level where people like how Wall Street was, and since
Yeah, yeah, Black Wall Street.
yeah, where white people were borrowing money, from black people, uh, uh, would these white people feel like they want to like just take what you have, some jealous white,
Right.
or they want to
Well,
just
they would then turn into having a sense of entitlement that they're
yeah,
entitled to get what we have, and
right,
that has been the issue. And then when we say no, then they take it
yeah,
or they destroy it.
right, right. Yes, no. So that's something for long term thinking people should think about. And
Yeah,
sometimes I think about, oh, when you went to Ghana, did you all go see the W.E.B. Du Bois
we
Center?
did, we did.
Ah,
It was
beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah. No, no, no. So, I mean, it makes me think because I know that there's some discussion around that, but somebody recently posted a picture of him, and I know that many people talk about, even the so-called intellectuals, but it's like he saw the future, if you will.
Right.
He at a old age, he said I mean, pushed out, left. However, he got up and left on some level. So ultimately, I'm feeling when I'm like interacting with Black American business people, and they consider themselves intellectuals, and I'm just like I'm looking at all these things like the whole Black Wall Street and the nation building, you building your business, and it's like okay. And I know some people are they feel that the whole integration thing was beneficial on some levels, but ultimately I feel that the diffusion causes a a brain drain on some levels,
Mm-hmm.
and it causes a lack of power, true power, ethnic power, cultural power, and when people are disconnected from the continent, when other groups are running to the continent to uh, take resources, that's a challenge, and that's why I'm just like I'm meeting all these people. And one of the things I must say, and I'm very pleased, Maryland, is kind of in a strategic position because recently some of Black officials, for what it's worth, they went to South Africa, and it was a decent amount of them. So I'm sort of inspired by that on some levels, but we'll see where that goes in the
Okay.
future. But yeah, so but of course, I wanted to show you. You know who this is? Of course, I ain't gonna say.
Put it to the camera some more.
Yeah, I'm gonna cover the name up. Do you know about her? But you can still see it. That's okay.
I can
It's
sort of see it.
yeah.
Who is it? I can't see it.
Well, it's Reginald F. Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Reginald F. Lewis. So actually, on December the 7th, I believe, we have a museum here for him. For those that may not know Reginald F. Lewis, he had one of the largest buyouts uh, leverage buyouts of in history. Like it was like a 90-1 uh, leverage buyout. He was a lawyer. He's from Baltimore, but I think he had the first $1 billion company. I don't know if he was like considered a billionaire, but he he acquired Beatrice Foods, which was the international food distributor. But his book is very, you know, it's a good read to know just how he was able to do that. But and I don't know, just I mean, of course, we all can do our parts, if you will, and this is why I feel like I'm striving to be like a glue to a lot of different things that's going on, and to be able to get into different spaces and have different types of conversations with not just the elite so-called wealthy people, but the regular people. Like, okay, how do we manage our time to organize and empower people to basically do for self? And that's what I wanted to say. So, and I'm pleased, as you said, you considering expanding, because Africa, specifically Uganda, has the youngest population, I believe, in the world. Actually, Uganda, fastest growing under 30 population, and these young people are like grasping technology like
Mm-hmm.
seriously. So
Yeah.
that's where it's going to be. That's where what I'm finding. So, but I ain't gonna hold you, sister, but if anything else you want to let the listening audience know, I know we didn't talk all the details, so I know I put Wakanda in the title. That's so you all can listen. But we talking about Wakanda, right? We definitely
Right. Right.
are.
I,
So
I
that's what we're
feel
trying
like
to do. But yes, I
it's our
did.
responsibility.
Huh?
Go ahead. I just wanted to say I feel like it's our responsibility one by one to build that that the
Right.
the the fantasy truly can be a reality, and we are building brick by brick. And
Right.
I truly believe that we'll see that in my
That's right.
lifetime,
That's
because
right.
I just the energy I felt going over to Ghana,
Mm,
um, um, now connecting with people that live in Africa, our African brothers and sisters. I see
mm,
the drive, the motivation, and the intentions of building something greater for ourselves.
right.
So I just want to play just a little piece, in that
That's right.
puzzle of building that. And this is my way through tech education,
Yeah.
and just that awareness of the possibilities that are out there, and providing those opportunities and resources to our girls and our women, to enter into the tech pipeline. So
Mm,
we all have a responsibility, even though there may be barriers against us, and if we may have an uphill battle. We've always had an uphill uphill battle,
right.
but we
Right.
never stop. We never stop.
Right.
And I feel like
Right.
as long as we keep going, that dream will get realized. We are closer than I feel like than we've ever been. We're closer than we've
Mm,
ever been. The pandemic really
wow.
shifted a lot of things, so
Hmm.
we have a window of opportunity, and I just don't want us to waste it.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Well, I definitely appreciate it, sister. So we shall be in touch. We shall be in touch. So you enjoy
Yes.
your evening, and we shall talk soon. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I
Oh,
appreciate
put
you.
up your contact information. Put if
Oh,
anybody wants
sure, sure,
to.
sure.
Yes.
Sure, I sure will. One second.
I'll highlight it if you're typing it in there. For you.
So that is my email. And then you can also follow me on my social media link, Emerging Ladies Academy or ELA Omaha. And I'll put that in the chat too. Social links.
Okay. Put it in there.
All right.
Ila Omaha.
ELA Omaha. Or Emerging Ladies
Okay.
Academy.
All right. Let me get back here to my banner and edit it. Oh shoot. Okay. There we go. So, all right, that's an email, everybody, and definitely Sister Tiffany and Eli Omaha. So definitely look that up. Look that up in Omaha, Nebraska to follow her as well as connect and be inspired. All right.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
All right, sister. Talk to you soon. Enjoy. Have a great
Okay.
evening.
Have a
Thank you.
good holiday.
You
All
too. Peace
right.
and blessings.
Bye bye.